Good day. Just wanted to provide a quick update on the Pecron E2000 LFP with my DIY battery monitorless expansion pack. So the menu in this thing has a high cut voltage. Stock setting is 27.8 volts. I turned it down to, I think I'm 27 volts even, maybe 27.2 volts. But what's actually going on, as best I can observe, is it charges the batteries internally at a fast rate to that high cut voltage setting. Because when it was stock 27.8, it would settle out pretty high. See, we're at 28.5, which is higher than the stock 27.8 and higher than, I think I'm maybe at 27.2 right now. I'd go into the menu to show you, except if you go into the menu, it actually shuts off the output. I'm currently running my whole house off of this thing. So I don't want to kill the freezer and all the lights and the internet and routers and everything. Anyhow, what I've observed is I believe it fast charges to that high cut voltage in the setting and tells you 100% when you get there. But then, as I showed in some previous videos when I had the lead acid, it seems to, it's pretty much leveled off now. But see, we've hit, oops, wrong button. We've hit 28.5, which seems to be about as high as it usually goes. I think it'll actually go to 29, maybe. Which thankfully is lower than what the meter actually reads on the battery output. Here it's less than that. Anyhow, but what it does is it goes up to 27 point whatever you've set it to, and it says it's 100%. And when it does that, all of my cells are very safely at like 3.35 volts in around there. Like every single one of them is at 3.35 volts, which is the very bottom of the spike of voltage in the charge curve. But then what happens it's been at 100% here today for, I don't even know what time it is, but it's probably been 2 or 3 hours. I hit 100% pretty early today. We've been out of the house, so the batteries are full. Haven't been using much power. But it's continued trickle charging them to the point now where they're getting a little more out of whack because we're hitting the very top capacity of the batteries. Number 15 here was at actually 3.6, while number 5 here was at 3.58, and I believe it was number 8 here was also at 3.58. So I did a little bit of top balancing, which I don't recommend really ever, but because of the way this trickle charges it up. So I just took my 12 volt test light here, and all I did was hook it on to a single cell, and I had to hold it there for probably a couple minutes to make 1/100th of a volt difference. So it's not moving much capacity at all, but I just took the few batteries that were a little bit higher down by 1/100th of a volt and a couple 100th of a volts on 15 there. Just so that as it trickle charges up, those batteries in particular were getting awfully close to 3.65 volts, which is the max charge for these cells. At the rate that it is trickling that power in, I don't think they would actually go over. They would just kind of self-shunt. But if you hit them with any kind of current at those high voltages, yes, they will go into, they'll start heating up, and then they'll go into a exothermal reaction, and they burst into flames and self-oxidate, and it's very dangerous. So I'm disappointed with the controller on this, that it does trickle charge it up to the very top of the batteries anyway. I can't say for sure it's unhealthy for them, but it's definitely not great. You're better off to just leave them down a little bit. It's probably adding like a whopping 10 amps to my whole setup to get those voltages right to the freaking peak. Completely unworth it, in my opinion. If I could custom program this thing to just cut voltage completely at 27.8, I'd be happy. but it's going all the way to 28.5. Here, let's just confirm what that is across all of these batteries. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna put the phone down. Okay, focus, there we go. So, holding that with my sweaty arm across the whole battery, we're reading 28.2. Oops, it fell. And this says 28.5. So, we're in the right safe direction, but it'd be better if the programming in this would actually cut off at the high cut voltage and cut off at the high cut voltage. Who knows what they're doing internally? Maybe they're like doing top balancing of the cells. I don't know, but not a fan of that myself. I prefer to bottom balance cells. You charge them up to within, 1/10 of a volt of 100% and just stop.